Welcome. You are about to dive into a teaching provided by Women's Prosperity Network as part of their Wow Wednesday series. This is your midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration to keep you in consistent action and intention in achieving your goals and your vision. For more information about Women's Prosperity Network and their coaching programs, live events, and mastermind workshops, go to womensprosperitynetwork.com. And now, on to your teaching.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host today, Nancy Matthews, and I'm one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, along with my two beautiful, amazing, and talented sisters, Trish Carr and Susan Winner. And we bring you Wow Wednesday as an opportunity to tap into a midweek boost of inspiration, education, and motivation to support you in living your most extraordinary life. No matter what comes up, there's always a way. And this week's guest surely is a testament to that on so many levels. This week I'd like to welcome to the call Hayley Colina, who's an attorney, a motivational speaker, a lecturer, a columnist, the author of Screw Cancer, Live Life Passionately, and founder of EQ Women Succeed. Welcome, Hayley.
Good morning, Nancy. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here and speak to everyone.
We are thrilled to have you. And Hayley, I remember the day we first met.
Right.
And we were at an event, a small event, like a retreat with Braveheart Women in California, and we shared a room together.
Yes, we
didn't even know each other.
And look at it now. Unbelievable.
I know. It's extraordinary. I think was that 2011? Pretty sure it was.
I believe so.
Yeah. And when we first met, I mean, you were an attorney, and you were looking to bridge from purely having your practice as an attorney into EQ Women Succeed, a way to describe what that is.
Well, EQ Women is there to teach you or to show you how to turn your life around. No matter what your circumstances are, you could always recreate yourself. And your life, it's if you dare to come out of your comfort zone, your life totally changes around.
So you started off, that was upon your heart to create and change.
Well, it actually changed many times, because at first was the mentality of making another business and making money. This evolved and completely is a new type of dealing with people out of your heart, out of your passion, not so much out of making money. How can I make money? No, how can I serve? How can I show people to really live so passionately and meaningful and forget all the nonsense? And regardless what situation you're in, my cancer journey showed me that, holy cow, it's all how I look at it and how I enjoy living life. So that's why I try to, there's this song, I don't know if you must have heard it, Wings Beneath Your Wing.
Yep, the wings beneath my wing.
Yes. If you can, so many people, all you have to do is just lift them up, and once they get a taste for it, they're on their own, and they're doing fantastic. So I want to be the wing beneath the wing, and then let them go.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions, because I find it interesting. Let's just use that word, for example. So here you are, a successful attorney. You're a mom. You have one daughter, right?
Yes, a daughter and a son.
Oh, daughter and a son, forgive me. And your transformation really began way before you got cancer.
Correct.
So tell a little bit about that part of the journey, and then you have been such a champion at the way you moved through your disease to take care of your daughter, to keep running your business, all of those pieces of the puzzle. You truly are a hero in my eyes, my friend.
Thank you, but we all are, and we all have got it inside us. But this is how it started. Back in 2013, before I got diagnosed with the cancer and everything, I remember putting on my makeup. In the morning, I'm looking in the mirror, and I stopped. I was putting on my eyeliner, and I stopped, and I looked, and I said, oh, my God, my life is passing by me. What am I going to do? People would think, oh, yes, she's an attorney, and she's got a nice house, and da-da. I was the most unhappy. It was a terrible relationship for 22 years. It was just, I lost myself. You get so wound up with the kids and the running around, and when it's at you, when your life is over, you know? So I decided at that point, that's it. This is not the way my story goes. And it is scary. When you make that decision, it is so scary because you don't know what's going to happen. I'm there thinking of breaking up a marriage of 22 years. My mother, that's 80-something, is living with us. I have 2 dogs. I have my daughter who's going to be graduating from high school. Oh, my God, that's a lot of changes. Mm-hmm. How do I handle it? Can I handle it? Well, I always said I can do anything I put my mind to it. So between being scared and talking my way into it, I did 2 things. First, I started riding motorcycles. And then I...
Wait a minute. You started riding motorcycles?
I started riding motorcycles at age 50.
Was that the first shift you made, like before the divorce and stuff like that?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so what I'm hearing is through the fear, you found a small way to bring yourself joy and build your courage to do something you wanted to do. And presuming that supported building up that inner strength to make bigger changes.
Yes, you have every single time that you step outside that comfort zone and try something different. You're going to be a little scared, or maybe a lot scared, but it's incredible. You get so empowered, and you get to have such self-confidence that you can do it. Because to me, motorcycles were, oh, my God, no way. I've always been told they're terrible. And I did it, and the moment that I got in a class, and within 4 hours they had me riding in a parking lot, it was like this huge piece of machinery between your legs, and I'm in control. It was amazing.
Wow.
And then from there on, I filed for divorce come January the next year, and I never knew how much my life was about to change. But one thing I always tell people, always see where you're at, no matter how bad your situation is, and then decide what is it that you want. And this, I'm sure you've probably heard this before, but it really works. I imagine, once I know what I want, I imagine it. I see it so vividly. For example, law school. It was 8 years full-time because I had dropped out of high school at 15. So,
wow.
Do you ever seen the cartoons Porky Pig, where at the end it's a black circle tunnel and it goes, that's all, folks.
Right.
Well, I pictured that tunnel, and in the middle of it was me with a graduation gown and the president of the university handing me over the diploma. So I was able to bring that picture up all 8 years, no matter how bad things got and how many times I was told that I should just quit. That's the picture. And I have the photo here in my office. That's the picture that I had in my mind. So it's unbelievable what you can do when you actually can vividly see it. And you had to bring it up over and over again until it became, oh, this is happening? No problem. Picture. So that works. From there, it's just deciding what is it that you want. What's going to make you happy.
So, well, let's talk about. Here's kind of where I'd like to go, if it's okay.
Yes,
You made a decision to make changes in your life, and got strength. You started. What can I do first that would make me uncomfortable and build my strength and confidence. So you start riding motorcycles. That gave you the strength to find happiness personally and make the change and filing for divorce. Your daughter's getting ready for college. And just when you think you're in the zone, right?
Yes.
Something new happens.
Yes. Right when everything was just looking amazing, I got diagnosed with cancer. And I say diagnosed because I tell people to watch their words. There's a lady that I'm sure many of you know, Susan. And she came to my house to comfort me and help me through this. And the first thing I say, I have cancer. And she goes, no, you were diagnosed with cancer. You never own it. I never forgot that.
Wow, that's great.
So, that was incredible. But I did. I went through lung cancer, stage 4, and brain cancer. It spread to the brain last year. And I'm doing great. I've never had pain. I mean, it's just such a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise because what it did was show me how to really live. Other people just watch and say they understand, but I really know how it is, and it's just amazing. And that's what I try to bring smiles and show people that no matter what your circumstances are, it doesn't matter. You can turn your life around and you can make it full of passion, meaning, and purpose. I started. There's 7 little things that I did that made a huge difference for me. The words. That started with the words. What I say, I'm very careful with it, and I'm so used to saying the wrong thing, so I'll take it back and I'll reword my phrases. Like I can't. Of course you can. Maybe not right now, but you will. And fear.
All right, wait a minute. That was powerful, and I don't want it to get overlooked. So when the words, I can't, come up in your mind or come out of your mouth, how do we reframe that?
Of course I can. Just maybe not right now, but I'm going to. And then I figure out the way to do so.
Excellent.
And what I was telling you is with fear, it holds you back so bad, and we all have fears, but it's how we handle it. Like the motorcycle incident. Oh, my God, you're going to kill yourself. What are you doing? You're an attorney, blah, blah, blah. Well, I so strongly and have always believed that you come with an expiration date. You're not going to leave 1 second earlier or 1 second later. So with that said, don't do stupid things. I mean, do things safely. But don't let fear rob you from living. You know, you have to live your life and do whatever is in your heart. I have another story, and that is when I was going through the first cancer treatments with my lungs, I met an old friend on Facebook, hadn't seen in 30 years. He's in the Army, works out, very healthy, and he was encouraging me. You know, it's going to be fine, because this is like really through, in the beginning. So I was a lot scared. And he said, let's meet for lunch. And I said, okay, let me finish my treatments, and I will call you and we can meet for lunch, because I was treating in Tampa. He lived in Orlando. This was October 31st. We were supposed to meet. So I'm calling him, and I'm looking for Facebook. Nothing. Disappeared. Mind you, 48 years old, strong, in the Army, worked out all his life. Massive heart attack. He's dead.
Wow.
I found out several months later when the mother found my phone number in his phone and calls me. So you do not know. Don't be afraid to do what you want. Just don't hurt anybody and go for it. The other thing that really drilled in me was you always want other people's approval. Or what are they going to think? Or what if I get up, and talk in front of the stage, embarrass myself? What are they going to say? What am I wearing? Oh, my God, it's exhausting. I don't need anyone's approval. I learned that the only approval I need is my own. And with the motorcycle, that was a big issue with my family and my kids, because Mom riding a motorcycle, I write for a magazine, motorcycle magazine, you just don't do that.
So Mom turned into a biker chick.
Yes. But
you
know the mentality of bikers to many people is wild, crazy people. They're not all of them. You know, the group that I connected with are very nice people, some retired, wealthy, some very poor. I mean, from all walks of life. Well, you can't be too poor if you have a motorcycle, but from all walks of life. But there's a passion to help others and a passion for bikes and riding. So, you know, you can't be judging ahead of time. The approval thing is...
I was going to say, I'm picking up these tips. You said there were 7 things that you found to live life passionately. And so the first is watch your words. The next is don't let fear stop you from living.
Yes.
And stop seeking approval.
Yes. Very, very.
All right. So you have 7. So we did 3 so far.
Okay. The next one is the simplifying your life and the stuffitis condition, meaning stuff. We want stuff, more stuff, bigger stuff. You know, we're just conditioned with the media and society to just want stuff. What are you going to do with this? Is stuff going to make you happy forever? No. Stuff is just a temporary happiness, and that's it. And people spend their lives just wanting more stuff and building and working. And, well, how much are you willing to give up in an effort to have it all? You know? And how long are you going to be happy once you get whatever it is you're looking for? You're wearing yourself out, trying to have it all, and in the end, it doesn't matter. I sat in that bed when they first diagnosed me in the hospital. They had to do lung surgery, and I sat there and I was like, God, I don't want anything. All I want to do is live. And it was like nothing mattered. You pay so much attention to such nonsense, and nothing at all mattered but life. And you can't buy it with money.
That's right.
So,
so the prayer and the intention is not to wait until you have something like being diagnosed show up in your life. Like, we can live this way now. And you had already started on this path of realization and discovery before the diagnosis came in.
Yes. But you want to be able to, if what you're looking for is change and to recreate your life and yourself, you don't want to wait until it's involuntary, until there's a, divorce or death or illness or anything like. You want to be able to do this now, voluntarily. I did it, and yes, it was a blessing in disguise, everything I learned. But Lord, I say, why did you have to hit me over the head for me to change? So everything happens to teach you something. And boy, it taught me a lot. It taught me so much love and compassion. Not that I didn't have it before, but this was a totally new level. So simplifying my life, getting rid of everything that I don't need, and just moving on, enjoying what really counts, and the people around you.
All right, so we've got your words. Don't let fear stop you. Stop seeking approval. Release the stuff and simplify your life. And are there more?
2 more, or actually 3 more.
All right.
Clean up. I decided to clean up. I removed everything that I felt stressed with. First thing, I filed for divorce. Next thing is the naysayers. I don't want to hear anything. Well, I do want to hear it. Naysayer has something to say. Say it. I will consider with a grain of salt what I agree with, and the other stuff I push away. And if it's somebody negative constantly, whiners, complainers, I want them aside, away from me. Not that I'm going to never speak to them, but I don't want them in my immediate circle. I call these people like the Frankensteins. I call it the Friendstein, the family stein, and the spouse stein. They're poison and they're toxic people. Why would you want to keep this around you? So I started cleaning house. The naysayers especially. My God,
I gotta say, I was just speaking with somebody yesterday who's going through some challenges and financial challenges, and she's growing her business as an entrepreneur. It hasn't taken off quite the way that she knows it will, and people in her life are saying, you know, get a job. This is never going to work, and da 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 da. And I was like, you got to stop talking to them.
Exactly.
So I got to share. What I love that you just said is because when we have people, especially those that are close to us in our inner circle and our family, when they say those negative things or those fears and doubts, I love that you said, you know, hear them the first time, let's say, acknowledge, I will consider where you're coming from. Then you make your decision and you move forward. If they continue to just barrage you with negativity, you got to stop. You got to get them to stop. This is not your conversation. This is not your life. I won't discuss this with you.
I try to always keep doors open and say it as nicely as I can, and to the point that the people that have continued to, you know, tell me I should just be an attorney, and because I've been through the same thing she's doing, I just say, listen, I respect your opinion, and I expect you to respect mine, and I love you. That's it. And every time they bring it up, I just say, I love you. I love you. They look at me and say, I have it tattooed in my brain already. Don't tell me anymore.
That takes a lot of strength, because I know that for me and for most people, there's some doubt that's in there on our own. So building up that strength. So how do you eliminate doubt? This is, and I know you're sharing the pieces of it with us right now. So can you share with our listeners?
My doubt is,
when fear shows up for you in that moment, what do?
I know that I can. I say my prayers. I am not church going every Sunday, but I'm very connected to my God and the universe, and I just know to do the best that I can with my ability, and then I turn it over to them and say, here, I can't do any more. Please take it over. I know you got this. And that's what I say. And it helps me. It helps me tremendously, because I find like a peace, calm inside that, you know, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It may not be the way that I envisioned it and planned it, but it'll be a twist to it, and there'll be a reason. I'll figure it out later why that twist, and I'm grateful.
Awesome. All right. So we've got 5 things so far. What's number 6?
Eliminate all the negative beliefs, the values, the judgments, the discrimination, all that stuff that you stuck in your mind. You know, the anger against other people. I've learned to just let it all go, and I just trust karma and God to take care of others. I don't hold any anger anymore. That is so exhausting, and it gets you absolutely nowhere. Don't worry. What's going to be is going to be. Why would you be wasting your time worrying about the future that may or may not be? You're missing out your now. That is a big one for me.
Yes. One of my mentors taught me that anger is really fear. And here's why, how he explained it to me. That when something happens to us and we get angry, anger is our wall that we put up to protect, because we're actually afraid that thing is going to happen to us again. You'll never take advantage of me. Oh, no, that's not going to happen to me. Look and see what happens if you do. So anger is really a mask for fear.
Very interesting.
I
didn't. When I was diagnosed, I could not believe the support that I got. But there were 2 separate individuals who did such horrible things. They kind of wrote me off like I didn't exist anymore. I was going to be dead. They took advantage of me when I was the most vulnerable. And I was so hurt. I cried so much. And then I just realized, why? They don't care. They're not even thinking about me. I said, God, take care of it. But please, can I just get a VIP ticket so I can watch, And my daughter just laughed. But yeah, no. I put on a smile. My life is not perfect. It's far from perfect. But I choose how to look at it when it happens, when I'm in traffic, Miami traffic. Oh, my God. People are bitching up a storm, and they're upset, and they're angry. And I'm like, wow, look at all this traffic. And you know what? I have a car. I'm sitting in this car, and I'm driving it. I'm not in a hospital deathbed. So thank you, Lord.
Right. That's right.
Thank you. Publix, when I go to Publix, shopping, I so appreciate the fact that I'm going to Publix. I'm getting my groceries. I'm taking them home. Don't be upset if you're waiting in line. Say, hey, thank you. I'm waiting in line. I'm not, I can do it.
Yeah. And just, pausing, I think that we make stories up in our head how important each moment is to get things done. And you said it a few minutes ago, it's when you're so focused on doing and you're focused on the future or worrying about the past, you're missing the now.
Exactly.
So you've really mastered the art of being in the now, being grateful, and being fully present.
Always grateful, always present. Yes,
Beautiful.
absolutely.
And we're coming up on 9:30 in just a few minutes, so I want to make sure that you share that last one with us, and then also let our listeners know about your book. So let's do number 7 first.
Okay, well, stop what's in it for me question and start turning it around to how can I help you? How can I be of service? The more you are thinking of how you can help others and be of service to others, it's going to come back tenfold for you. So don't be focused on what can I get out of you or what's the benefit. That's that little that little change there is so fulfilling and loving. And if you're thinking of, oh, money, well, yes, you have to make a living, but don't focus on that. Focus on the service. Focus on your heart. And that made a big difference for me, too. Oh,
yeah,
I have one more.
Let me just add to one piece of that, especially when you have, crisis, trouble, challenges. Staying focused on yourself and the problems, the solutions aren't within you. We've got to look outside. I think it's Einstein that says the same mind that created the problem can't solve it. So we've got to go outside, and I found, too, that the best way to shift, even under the most dire circumstances, is to focus on serving and being with others.
Yes.
Because releasing that pressure of having to find the solution to the challenge and just going and helping another person, it shifts the energy, it shifts your way of being, and it allows for divine grace to come in and provide your solution as you're serving someone else.
That is awesomely put. Thank you. Yes, that is great.
Yeah. I know you want to share one more, so let's do the bonus one.
Okay, this is really short. It's just to commit to whatever it is and be very, very flexible. You're going to have detours ahead. You're going to have to ice skate around them, ride your motorcycle around them, go up, go down, all kinds of directions. But keep your focus on your end results, what it is that you want, and then go with the flow. Don't fight it. Just go with the flow. Things will fall where they may. Things may not come out the way you wanted, like I said before, but they'll be very close to it, and they'll be better. So don't fight it. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. Right, that's like getting attached to the how something is supposed to look as opposed to the way it feels, the impact it has. The how is none of my business. Yeah. Is kind of how I look at it. Years ago when we first started Women's Prosperity Network, I wanted to have, like, my vision The dream I had was a restaurant or a coffee shop. I was going to call it the Prosperity Cafe, and people would be able to relax and enjoy delicious snacks and drinks, and we would have speakers and music and books and all of this stuff. So I had this vision, and the vision was about what's the feeling or impact I want to have on people, and the impact I wanted them to have was inspiration, empowerment, enlightenment, through the speakers, through the experience that they got to have. And long before this Tele-Class started, so this was back in 2008, we did a radio show on a local AM station, and I decided to call it the Prosperity Cafe. I was like, grab a cup of coffee and join us, as with this week's guest. And I was like, look at that. I got it, but the how was different. And it actually allowed me to serve more people because I wasn't restricted to one geographic location.
Yes. Oh, I know you got it.
Yeah. And we're all in this together, is the truth. And so let me start the queue so that we can take some questions and comments from our listeners. So hold on just a moment. So for all our listeners, go ahead and hit *6. And as our listeners are coming into queue, I want you to touch upon, number one, where they can get your book. So let's do that. Where can everybody get your book?
Well, it's on Amazon, but you can get it right on my website, www. E as in Edward, Q as in Queen, W-S, EQWS.org. Stands for EQ Women
EQWS.org. Okay. And what does the EQ stand for?
Exemplified Quality Women Succeed.
Ooh, Exemplified Quality Women Succeed. I love it. And the name of the book is Screw Cancer, Live Life Passionately.
Yes.
And I'd like you to spend, the phone lines are blowing up, and I'd like you to spend just a few minutes on the actual healing process from the diagnosis. I've read your book. I know you went through physical changes and you found solutions and went to Tampa to get treatment. Can you just speak a little bit about that part of the journey, just for a minute or two?
It was devastating. When you hear the word cancer, you think death. That's it. That's the first thing that pops in your mind. Once you get more knowledgeable, which is a journey, then, things switch around. But at first, it's just everybody bombarding you with information, people telling you statistics. Well, holy cow, I'm sorry, but I'm me. I'm unique. I'm not a statistic. So, and you see so many miracles, like my friend Susan, Sharon.
Know, right?
Don't tell me when I'm leaving here. I'm not ready to go, and God's the only one that tells me. So, and all this traditional medicine, well, I listen to some of it, but I also choose to do what I think is best for me. Mm-hmm. So once I got that, and my postings, I do EQ Women Succeed on all the social media, and my postings, believe it or not, were not only helping other people who were emailing me and telling me all these things they've done, but they were helping me. They were really reminding me of all the things that I always believed in. So with that and combination of prayer and believing in my God and in the universe, I started changing and seeing that, hey, wait a minute, they did all this surgery, they've done all these chemos, they've done all this stuff, and I'm perfectly fine. So that's how I started coming out of it, because it was moments of being in the pits of hell and not knowing where to turn, what to do. And in my book, I show there's pictures. My book is a motivational picture that happens to use my cancer journey to show you, get up and go live. No matter how bad things seem, just focus on the work towards your future, enjoy the now, and use the past only as a lesson.
Love it. All right, so again, you can pick up the book on Amazon or directly on Hayley's website, EQWS.org, and I am going to open up these lines. Let's see here. All right, good morning. Your line is open.
Good morning. My name is Deborah Robbins. I'm calling from Alabama. And
Hi,
first
Deborah,
of all,
did you say?
My name is Deborah Robbins, and I'm calling from northern Alabama.
Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for sharing your very inspirational story. I looked you up online yesterday, and you truly have a beautiful story. So thank you so much for sharing. And thanks to all of you for being here on this call today, because I put a lot of value on these weekly calls. I have a similar story to yours. I learned to ride Harleys around 49, been successful and accomplished. I feel that I have a large network of people. I was also diagnosed with a potentially life-threatening challenge a year and a half ago. Actually, the week after, my mom was killed in a car accident. And then I was told several times that I was going to die. They put me on a lot of medications, and we all know sometimes the medications can be worse than the diagnosis.
Yes.
But I survived all of it and have a new granddaughter in the mix as well, relocated from Florida to Alabama. And now I came from living in an area in Florida where it was very close to everything, and now I'm very far away from everything, except I'm closer to my family. But I agree with all that you have said about, I believe in God. I thank God for being here. I thank God for the love and the prayers and support of all the people who helped me through that very difficult year and a half. And now I feel like I've come out on the other side, and I feel that I've been given a second chance for a reason, to really accomplish something. And I keep praying every day, God, just show me what that is. But I feel like I still don't know. So I've started attending the meetings in Atlanta, and thank God for our sisters over there. Nancy, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. But
yay!
I still feel like there's something more I'm supposed to be doing, and I almost feel that I'm trying to be patient, but some days I feel that I'm almost becoming frantic with, okay, God, why was I spared? Why was I saved? Why was I given this second chance? What is it I'm supposed to be doing? So do you have any recommendations for maybe someone's work I could read or more I could be doing to help unveil this, what is it coming next that I need to be doing?
I know. I've been through that. And
Me
it's
too.
very lost. You what do you do? And I go to sleep and I say, God, please, just guide me in the right directions, put the right people in front of me, and let me serve you, however you want me to serve you. And I say that every day, and I can't say that I have an exact answer, but what I figured is, okay, so I wanted to continue speaking and touching other people's lives. And God, if this is not the door that I'm supposed to have open, please close it for me immediately. And it's been opening more and more and more, so I think I found the right track.
And you're doing an awesome job, and thank you for that. And that's why I keep calling in on these calls and Geetha's calls, and I'm going to the Level Up. I'm already planning to go to the Unconference. It's like, I think right now the best thing I can do is be a really good sponge and continue to be a student of life, which I thoroughly enjoy being, but I just feel like that something more is just out of my reach. So I will appreciate all of your prayers and your just thoughts of confidence and support, and I know I'll get there.
You got it, absolutely.
Deb, let me share one other thing with you. Is when I was in that transition and I felt the way you did from, there's something more, I'm not liking what I was doing. I wanted to get out of doing my title company and real estate, and this is way before the crash happened, about 2 years beforehand. I did exactly what you're doing, and by becoming a sponge, growing myself, developing myself, and then the other thing I did was I became a volunteer.
Yes.
And I volunteered to be a guardian ad litem for children in the foster care system. And I believe, kind of like what Hayley talked about, is how can I be of service? When I stepped into that space, number one, it felt so good. Like I had the most joy when I was volunteering in that arena. And it was once I was feeling that the opportunities showed up for the creation of Women's Prosperity Network.
Wonderful.
So
thank
is there some place you could volunteer?
Yes, and I am volunteering, and now that I'm 35 miles from my family and still trying to get closer now, but I'm helping in all ways that I can with both family, the new granddaughter, and have a friend who's just been diagnosed with cancer. I'm helping them where I can. So I'm trying to put myself out there. For a long time I didn't. I just sat here looking at the four walls trying to see the answers, and then I realized the answers are not within these four walls.
Good
so
for
I've
you.
got to get there. So I am out there every day now. It's like I'm wondering, how did I ever have time for a job, because my days are so full now. But I
can't
will
wait to meet you.
Thank you. Right? I can't hardly wait to meet you as well. Be sure to bring those one books, because I want my one copy. But
yes, I'm bringing them. I've got them already next to my suitcase. I'll be packing in a little while.
Thank you all. I don't mean to monopolize the time, but I will appreciate your prayers,
question.
and I look forward to crossing paths with all of you.
Okay, one question before you go. You said that you're from Alabama?
I am.
Okay, well, there is a group in Alabama that we're starting. It's for women that want to ride motorcycles.
Yes.
But I have several other groups on there. Make sure you go on our newsletter in the website, and it'll tell you all the events and all the speaking engagements.
Absolutely, and I look forward to meeting you in person. Thank you.
Good luck to you. Take care.
Right, beautiful. Thank
you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right. All right, let's see here. Good morning. Your line is open. This is Miss Diane Chasick up in Melbourne.
Good morning. This is Diane Chasick.
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for taking my call. It's a delight to listen to you, Hayley. I am a faithful follower of yours on Facebook, and sorry I'm out of breath. I'm also multitasking here. We have kind of paralleled each other in a lot of ways, although I wasn't the one with a diagnosis of cancer. It was my mother, and I was her caretaker for many years. Fortunately and unfortunately, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Fortunately, it was swift, and she went out dancing like she wanted to, and I could only aspire to be as positive as she was the entire time she was going through kind of what you went through. I remember watching you when you shaved your head, and you were just always so positive, and that was what I truly have learned from you, along with watching my mother pass away, is the power of positivity. And I that's such a challenge to me, and I know that you have said that you rely on the guidance from your God, but what is it when you get to that point where you say, okay, God, I'm having a really, really hard day? How do you get through those hours before your prayer or you're given a sign that things are going to be okay?
I cry. I have a meltdown, and I cut it short and said, okay, now you got it. Leave it behind and move on. But I need that good cry. I'm no different than anybody else.
You're human?
It's just, yes. It's human, and it's okay to break down. Just don't stay in any pity party. Get in and get out.
Right, because if you resist it, that which we resist persists. So you allow the sadness, the fear, the worry, you give it an opportunity to be expressed and leave your system instead of just trying to stuff it and cover it.
That's what I'm learning now. That is the biggest lesson. Acknowledge it instead of stuffing it. Right.
Yeah, and then when you're done, I learned this, I think it was Tony Robbins. He said, it's impossible for you to smile and be unhappy. Stand in the mirror and smile, and you're going to see there's no way for you to be unhappy. So give yourself a big smile at the end.
Well, that's my trademark, is smile. I am Life Smile. And I also wanted to acknowledge that what you said about riding motorcycles. I took my Harley course. I had never started a motorcycle myself, although I had ridden on the back of my husband's for years. I started my course on a cold December morning, and when they put that machine between my legs and they said, okay, put the kickstand up and pick it up, and I picked it up and it went immediately over to the other side. So I I dropped the bike the first
time. I did too.
Did you really?
Yes. The only
and
one
I vowed I wasn't going to drop it ever again. And I was one out of 5 women who, there were 5 women in the class, only 2 of us passed. So I was glad I didn't have to drop it again. I got it over with and moved on.
Oh, I've dropped it several times. I'm really good at it now. I just lay it down like a baby.
That's funny.
Because it's really heavy.
They are heavy. That's why I got a Spider with three wheels.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Diane,
So
thank you so much.
Thank
you. Great perspective you brought today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, good morning. We have Miss Evie Hernandez. Hello, my friend.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, good morning, beautiful angels. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
I am so thankful to Nancy Matthews for bringing Hayley. Hayley, I know that I've been kind of distant, but I've been watching you from afar. We met and we were roommates a long time ago.
At the same event. We were all there together. That's right.
Unbelievable.
I know, and I'm just listening to you and loving your voice because you speak so authentically, you speak so natural, and your sincerity is just beautiful to hear you speak. And
thank you.
Really, I just wanted to thank Nancy for bringing you on, and I wanted to thank you for allowing your light to shine. And even though some of us may seem far and distant, we are watching you and we are being inspired by what you're doing. So I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you. I admire you. And, in unity we say, and I see you doing great things, and I do. And I'm so delighted that you're on today, and I'm really touched.
And thank you for those words. They mean a lot. Thank you.
Great to have you with us this morning, Evie. And that was a very special weekend we all shared together. It was great.
Yeah, so thank you, Nancy. And I love you guys, and thank you, Nancy, for the work that you continue doing. And as I always say, Nancy, you are definitely tenacious. That's my word for you always.
Yes. I know. Keep on going, girls. That's what we do, and we do it from a place of, I'm going to quote my favorite musical artist, who you probably can guess what the name is, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, who is 66 years young, performing concerts where he goes for 3.5 hours straight, night after night. And he said in an interview, somebody said, why do you keep doing this? He doesn't need the money. And he said, people ask me, why would a grown man night after night go out there and sweat and work hard and do all this stuff? And he said, there's only one reason, because he has to. And when you find that, and I know Hayley's found it, and Evie's found it, and Deborah is on the path to finding it, when you find that, the tenaciousness, the tenacity that you speak of, it doesn't feel like that on this side of it. It's what I got to do. It's what I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always going to throw in Bruce Springsteen. I think we know this about me.
And Hayley, maybe someday I'll ride a bike. My life partner, he loves riding, and he knows you. It's funny, and I always show him pictures of you because I say, look at Hayley go.
Hey, you got to try at least once, and then you can say yes or no.
Yes.
Enjoy.
All right, Evie, thank you for being with us this morning. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Love you guys, and God continue blessing all of you.
Thank you. All right, good morning. Your line is open. Someone in the, I think, Stewart or Port St. Lucie area, 77281. Who's that?
This is Betsy Rasm. Hi.
Hi. Hello, Miss Betsy.
I so enjoyed this morning. I saw that Hayley was going to be on this morning, and I made it a special point to be on the call.
Thank you.
Just this last week, my husband had another diagnosis. And I love how I've been taught as well that it is just a diagnosis. And I also value what you said about crying, because there was a time a year and a half ago that he was diagnosed, and thank God it was a misdiagnose. And I didn't allow myself to cry, and it was not good. It was hurting me not to. And when I finally broke down and gave myself permission to do the crying, it only lasted a short amount of time, and I was over and done with. And then I did some research and found that there's some wonderful hormones in tears, and that process of crying is very healing to us. That's really, really important, and I'm so glad that you shared that, because it is. So many times, I know as a little girl I was told, don't you cry. And, you got to be strong. And everything has a purpose, and when we realize that purpose, it's really important. And when you were talking about anger and frustration and resentment and holding those things in, that's what causes a lot of our, quote, disease or disease. Yes. And and I wrote a meme, a quote that says, anger is really only fear, frustration, pain, or hurt, all dressed up in a power suit.
Very good.
It gives us the illusion of being powerful, that endorphin or whatever it is, the chemical behind the anger, gives us the illusion of power when really it isn't. And when we face it and see it as what it truly is, we can work through it. But I so appreciate everything you said today, because I'm in a place where I probably need to go have a good cry and move forward.
Well, you can message me anytime you want, and I'll call you, or you can call me. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Very welcome. Yeah, and remember, we got to bless somebody else, too, because other people are going through it. So I'll message them, I'm thinking of you, I love you, whatever, just to know that I'm here. And that helps.
Yeah, the C word was mentioned, and, one of my tricks is anytime a challenge is brought forward in my life, I have the task of finding something good in it. And I already did that. I found the good in that he had an MRI of his back for back pain, and they found a cyst on his kidney, and then they just did an ultrasound and found out it's not a cyst, it's a tumor. And the good news is it's only 2 centimeters, and had he never had the back pain, they wouldn't discover it until it was really so big that nothing could be done but to remove a kidney.
That's how to think of it.
Yeah. So, the good news is we're really, it is a diagnosis, and it's just a diagnosis, and it is something manageable. So that's finding something good in it is also really important to me to keep that positive energy going.
Yeah. And not to oversimplify it, but I know it's very oversimplified, but I look at it this way. I'm not the cancer. Okay?
Yes.
So I was diagnosed with it, and if it's still lingering around, it's just like dandruff. I just maintain it. That's all. I'm still here. It's just one of those things that doesn't, want to leave. But in my case, I know it's going to leave. See? It's your words.
Absolutely.
It's going to be fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're a blessing.
Love you,
Thank you.
Betsy.
Love you.
All right.
Keep you in my prayers.
Thank you.
All right, good morning. Let's see, your line is open. Our next caller, someone from the Tallahassee area.
Yes, it is. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Miss Catherine Hathaway, our
How are
fabulous
you?
Phoenix leader.
I just wanted to thank Hayley for sharing her strength and power and the inspiration of her story. Hayley, you are truly a leader, and people who hear your story will be stronger and look at their own challenges as surmountable because of how you've shared. And I particularly liked your last step about service. I just finished my 4th level up here in Tallahassee a couple weeks ago. And last year at Level Up, I was inspired to, I was thinking in terms of how could I as a lawyer serve better? How could I give more? And that Level Up experience did not fade after the workshop, that it had continued to grow. And this year's Level Up has inspired me to find new ways and better ways to serve. And it is in service that we solve our own problems and make money and make the world a better place. And I love that you emphasize it so strongly. When, with what you've been through, you could be like, why aren't people taking better care of me? But you're in service, and I love you for it. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Making my heart melt. Thank you for listening, and thank you for those words.
You are very welcome. You're an inspiration.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Miss Catherine, for all you do, and more so, all that you are. That's the blessing in our lives.
And back at you, Nancy. We would not be here without you. And we would not be getting this midweek boost of energy and inspiration. So thank you for everything you do. You're an inspiration.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, just like Bruce Springsteen says, there's only one reason. I got to do it.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead. I think we should have time for one more caller. And this is someone from Central Florida, I believe. Good morning. Your line is open.
Good morning. Florida's moved to Atlanta.
Geeta, see you tomorrow night.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you so much, Nancy, for creating Wow Wednesday. That's always
I'm holding the space for all of you. That's what this is all about.
Thank you. And dear guest, Hayley, I'm so thankful to you. I really connected with you when you shared about the service, and that's what I do. And I'm just focusing on how best I can serve, and that's the reason I started the call every Thursday, gratitude call at 9 a.m., just like Wow Wednesday. And it brings so much happiness to me as well as all the listeners that that's my why. And in a great way, as Nancy shared just now, as Bruce Springsteen shared just earlier, I just have to, I want to, I love to. So thank you so much for reminding me and sharing that, yes, that's the right path. Thank you so much. I just wanted to share that. And,
beautiful. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And whomsoever would like to join the call, it's at 9 a.m. EST every Thursday. Dynamic Growth with Gratitude. It's a free call, just like Wow Call. Please do join us. The information is on the WPN site, and you can connect with me at Geeta Krishnan. Nancy, is it okay if I share my email ID?
Yeah, we're just about wrapping up. So, actually, just have them look for you on Facebook. Let's do that, because I have a couple more things I need to do with Hayley.
Sure. So just look up on my Facebook. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. And
all right, very good. Yes. So look for Geeta Krishnan and Dynamic Growth with Gratitude.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, beautiful. Thank you for what you're doing. You've created a beautiful space every Thursday morning for people to step into appreciation and gratitude, which just increases our vibration.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a
wonderful day. Thank you, Geeta, and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
All right, so Miss Hayley, my dear.
Uh-oh, am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble.
Okay.
I want to thank you so much for, being an exemplary woman of high quality who shows us how to deal with life head on from a place of strength and courage rather than fear. I honor you so much, and when I saw your book was released, I had to reach out to you and say, please be a guest on this show, because your story inspires me, inspires our community, and inspires so many people to go for their lives in a big, beautiful way.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
What else would you like to share before we wrap up today?
Well, just the main thing is live an extraordinary life, no matter what's happening in it. Just stay focused on your future, but enjoy the now, and use the past only as a learning opportunity. It's the past. And live life passionately.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I am grateful that we had the opportunity to meet back in 2011.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful that the journey has continued, and I really honor all you are and all you've done. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you for everything that you do. Love you.
You're welcome.
Take care, everyone.
All right. Very good. And for all of our listeners, be sure to go to Amazon to purchase Screw Cancer, Live Life Passionately, or go directly to EQWS.org, which is EQ Women Succeed. Have a beautiful day, and thank you again, Hayley. Appreciate you.
Take care. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.